Hi, Frank.
Hi.
Your players standing up to be counted today. You must have been pleased with the reaction, especially after the way they fell behind. A real kind of gritty performance that got a result you probably deserved with that equaliser.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Manchester City would probably say we deserve to win. They generally have so many chances here and possession. We understood that would probably be the case. I think we did limit their good chances. And in terms of our character and discipline and following through with the plan, working consistently for 100 odd minutes, understanding that that's sometimes tough and you've got to stick with it. I thought we did that brilliantly, and I think you're right in those terms. We deserved a point, and it's a big one for us because it comes off a sucker punch against Wolves where I felt we played pretty well and could have won a game and we lost it. So to come to the champions and get something back in a tough game is a big deal for us today, albeit a point, but it's a big deal for the dressing room.
James?
I know it wasn't like an identical performance to the one Brentford had here, but did you take some sort of inspiration from what they did, sort of pushing City wide, backing yourselves to defend those crosses, being really aggressive, tenacious, taking your chance when it did come?
Yeah, we watched that performance, and it'd be great to come here and open up against City and try and go toe to toe. But they're at such a level and the position we're in at the moment, that's not for us, and that's just how we approach the game. And I think we played this system against Tottenham earlier in the season, lost, but we had two big chances on the counter, and we sort of followed through with the defensive side of it pretty well for the majority of the game. So the idea was not to give spaces between a back four, to have an extra man at the back, to then be able to be a bit more aggressive from having five at the back rather than running backwards because you've got four. And so the Brentford one was showed that it could be done to a degree, but we definitely didn't follow that blueprint. I wouldn't want to pull the players into a pre-team meeting and go, let's just copy what Brentford do. But as a coach, I think sometimes you have to see things what you see and see whether you think that can work for your team. And I thought today it worked for us. And you have to ride your luck here a bit. That's the reality of playing here. But I think we can be really proud of the way we approach the game. I haven't seen it back. My gut instinct that it was a yellow card in the first place, and it was a bit lungy, but I didn't think there was massive force to try and hurt Mykolenko. So I would say no.
Joe?
I felt like those players really put their bodies on the line for you today. I mean, how pleased were you with the resilience and the fight that they showed? I mean, like having a game plan signals was only one thing, but they really wanted it today. It really came across. Yeah,
I completely agree in terms of the game plan, because I think for me it's like 30%, 70%, particularly at City, is character and personality and fight, because it's 11 against 11, and we know how good their 11 are, but we're Everton 11, so every individual has to go up against their man and do his job, and there were a lot of jobs to do. It wasn't an overcomplicated game plan defensively. A lot of stuff is zonal and getting across and doing your job. And then there's some little links between the team, the triangles on the side defensively. And to consistently do them is a character issue sometimes. Keep going, no matter what. And that was one of my big things before the game. I didn't want to see a performance where a goal went in or something happened and our heads go down, because when I see that, I don't like it. And I felt a little bit like that after Wolves, it was understandable after Wolves. I asked for the opposite of that today, and they gave me absolutely the opposite of that, and that has to be a blueprint going forward.
What did you say to them at half-time? Because although you 1-0 down and conceded a lot of possession, it still felt like there might have been something in there for you today.
I thought defensively we had to stick to our jobs, and that was for me just simple. I wanted us to play more, so I think there were times when we go long, sometimes from Jordan today, and we could have been more compact to win the second ball. But in terms of our general play, we had some spells in the first half where you could see a bit of confidence come into the team. And they needed to believe in themselves, and also had the ball a bit to have a bit of rest. So I wanted more of that from them. And then I told Damari that the next time he gets it, he needs to put it in the top corner.
And how useful was that 60 minutes for Dominic Calvert-Lewin?
I'm really happy, because it's a tough game to put a striker into because of the type of work it is. A lot of halfway line work off the ball. But I felt that would work for him in terms of getting minutes in the legs. And 60 was always the plan. And I thought he looked fit and he looked fresh. And it's just a big positive to have him back and have those minutes in the legs with the next games in mind.
Just finally from me, Michael Keane was pulled out of the squad last minute.
Yeah.
Any idea what it is that he's suffering from?
If we're hoping it's a small injury to the back of the knee, which he felt in training yesterday and then felt again in the warm-up today, so we'll get that scanned.
Sorry, we'll just go. Joe, sorry, we'll just go to Greg and then we'll go to you.
Oh, okay.
I think it was a stunning goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We've seen, maybe not quite as good as that, but we've seen Damari's got ability to score really good strikes like that in the past. But what was your reaction, your gut reaction as a football man to see that go in after the sort of strange build-up where he slips and there's 3 men around?
Well, I think that it's hard to explain that reaction. We had it recently at Goodison when Tielemans scored a goal out of nowhere, a volley that sort of shut the stadium, went dead, dead quiet. And it was like that today. It's unstoppable. And my reaction was obviously happiness, because sometimes it takes something like that in the performance that we put in today. There's a few other moments where we could have been a bit more clinical with our last pass and cross, and that was disappointing. And that's something we need to improve on for sure. But with Damari, he has that. It's getting him in those positions more often. And sometimes it's easier on a counter-attacking game to get in those positions. I know he scored a lot of goals in the first part of last season. I remember them. I wasn't here at the time, but being, running through against Arsenal and counter-attack, feeling goals. The next thing for Damari is, can we get goals when we're in high attacking structure and he's arriving in a box to finish tap-ins, etc. But that's not a question to talk about today, to be fair, because when he hits a goal like that, it just shows you the talent he's got, and it won us a point.